So if you haven't known already, last time I went to compete in my local model kit competition, which is the Kisho Modelers Cup, and somehow I managed to win second place for the Repaint category. So in today's video, I'm going to break down my build, so let's get into it. Hey, what's up everyone, Rupla here, and today we're going to fully paint this high-grade Arbalest from Full Metal Panic, complete with its XL2 booster here, which I've already snap built and cleaned almost all the knob mark. I decided to go with this kit right here for the Repaint competition because while browsing at a local hobby store, this kit pops out of nowhere. And my god, doing on the back, which is the XL2 booster, is what piques my interest. I immediately fell in love with this kit the moment I saw the backpack, and I thought, this has to be painted like an aircraft, right? It resembles so much of a fighter jet, and that's what makes it look cool, I think. So I don't know much about the Full Metal Panic itself. By the time I'm making this video, I've watched half of the first season for reference, and what a fun and cheerful anime. I did not expect that at all. So I don't know why this particular Arbalest looks like this instead of the standard blue and white color, but funnily enough, there's actually a bit of lore here on the manual on why this kit colored this way, because there's on submarine, and spray painting a giant mecha on a submarine sounds ridiculous. So yeah, back to the kit. I really like the overall design of this kit. The head, the torso, the leg, and especially the shoulder looks crazy good. Not only that, all the details are just insane. I mean, look at those lines and details. Looks like some additional panel line that you add with the chisel, but it was not. And also the XL2 booster got the same treatment here, which looks incredibly good with all the panel lines and such. Speaking of the XL2 booster here, I love how we got all the wings flap and such. The design itself also looks incredible and pleasant to look at. We also got this nice smaller wing underneath here, and this fuel tank looking like thing here. Then we have this cool looking exhaust that we usually got in a fighter jet. Then we have the accessories. The first one, we have the iconic knife for the mouth, but sadly there's no unsheathed version for this. But then we got this bigger knife complete with the sheath that can be attached to the back like so, or on the side of the thigh like that. Next we have two main weapons, which is the rifle here, which looks okay, just your typical assault rifle, and a pump shotgun that has this nice pumping gimmick. This one is cool, I really like it. We also got these black parts here, which are for the Lambda driver mode. Let's try it out. And now the Arbalest looks like this. Not much to say other than it changed the whole vibe of this kit all of a sudden, which is cool. But I feel like I'm not going to use this as much because we're going to use the booster anyway, which will collide with each other. Yeah, you can't really do that. So I think that's pretty much for the quick overview. Let's get straight into the painting. The plan here is that I was inspired by the balut system like what Hyakushiki wear, where the kit itself is as bright as possible in terms of color, while the balut system itself is just your typical gray color, so it kind of feels like it somewhat makes the main mecha look separated from the accessories. Same goes with the Arbalest here. Currently, everything is in one color scheme, which make it feels like a whole single unit, so I plan to paint the Arbalest with some bright color, maybe something like red or blue. Then I want the XL2 booster to look as stealthy and realistic as possible, just like your typical fighter jet. So the XL2 booster acts only as the transporter for the Arbalest. So yeah, that's the plan so far. Let's start painting. But before that, we need to do some preparation. First, I double check if there's any knob mark that I haven't removed, like quickly skimming it. Okay, like this one, which I haven't touched at all, sorry about that. Then I've got this error here on the back skirt, which I oversand it a bit, and so on. For the seam line, there's not much here to begin with, but the most obvious one is this here on the fuel tank of the booster, so let's remove it. First, I loosen the hole here to make it loose, then I sandwich both parts until they barely touch each other. Then with the Mr. Cement S, I just run the cement through all the gaps like so, then squeeze both parts really hard until the excess of the cement oozes out. That means a good thing. After that, I just remove the excess by sanding it with a 600 grit sanding sponge all the way up to 1000 grit. As for the excess on the leg inside these recesses here, I just carve it away with a chisel. What I wanna fix next is this weird looking edge here on the shoulder. I don't know what you call it, but this one. It looks off and uneven right now because it was hard to sand the edge properly because the position of knob marks earlier is super awkward. I hate how it currently looks right now, looks ugly, so I'm just gonna remove it entirely with a sanding board. And now it looks like this, which looked like it was just one flat surface without any extra edges. Looks cleaner now, I must say. Next, what I wanna fix is this back skirt here. This part was supposed to have a really cool detail on it, but somehow there's a knob mark right on top of it. So I'm just gonna remove it entirely and somehow make it clean. First, I sand the remaining detail until it's totally totally gone. Then with the guiding tape, I place it like so because I want to remove the small protruding area on the edge and just sand it following the guiding tape. And now the back skirt looks like this. We may lose all the details, but it still looks like something happening here, not entirely flat. After all that, I want to describe some of the panel lines, like this here on the wing for example. I feel like this should look kinda separated because it's one of the wing flaps. And also this entire engine here in the middle should look separated from the whole wing. So with a 0.15 chisel, I just scribe over those panel lines slowly and steadily. Come to think of it, is this just a super wide panel line or what? Should I paint it black later on? I'm confused. I need to worry about that later. I also describe some of the panel line here on the thigh, this area on the front leg here, and also this part for the arms. I think that's pretty much it for the panel line that needs to be described. Now that everything is prepared, next I'm going to wash it with this soap to remove all the dirt and dust, and we can then proceed to painting. Let's start with the XL2 booster because at the moment I still have no idea what color for the Arbalest is gonna be. For the XL2 booster, like I said earlier, I want to go for a more realistic fighter jet look. So I'm going to use the F-35 as inspiration and trying to match its color scheme. First, I prime everything with black surfacer, then I want to add some shading effect. Using the color white, I spray the center areas like this to create a pre-shading effect. I try to keep it a bit uneven by slightly shaking the airbrush so it looks more natural. And this is how it looks so far. It's already looking pretty interesting. For the main color, again I want to imitate the F-35, so I use neutral gray for the main color. Just spray it onto every part of the booster. And now it looks like this. The shading is there, quite subtle, but it looks nice at least for me. For the secondary color, again just like the F-35, I want to mimic the ram coating. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's the lighter gray color on some of the stripes and edges. So I grab this masking tape cutting mat here to create some thin long stripes of masking tape. Then just place it to the center of the wing like so, leaving some of the edges exposed. I also use the help of Mr. Masking Soul to seal some of the unwanted exposed area with the brush. At first, I wanted to place it on every edge like what the F-22 one does, but my mind was like, wait, why this thing needs a stealth ability when it's going to pick up some large mecha on it? Even though in the anime, it can literally turn invisible. And so I decided to not really think too realistically for the placement of the quote-unquote ram coating, just purely for aesthetic. So yeah, for the secondary color, I used this particular light gray and just spray it to the wing like so. After that, let's just peel off every masking tape on it. And now we have the wing currently looking like this, which is what I expected from the beginning. Looking cool, right? Next for the exhaust, I used the color burnt iron for it. And lastly, I give it a nice gloss top coat to protect the progress so far. Now that the booster looks so realistic, I want the Arbalest look as bright and eye-catching as possible, like a main character unit. I spent so much time looking for inspiration online, but nothing really caught my interest. Until, you won't believe it, until I played the new Subway Surfer City, where I stumbled upon this particular skin for Miss Maya, which later became my main inspiration. I immediately fell in love with the color scheme from top to bottom, so I just had to Google summer color scheme. And okay, I need to use this color scheme on my Arbalest. I did some planning on a drawing app and it somewhat looks like this, which is really cool for me. I don't know about you guys. I really want that gradient around the torso to happen, but I don't know how at the moment, so let's just start painting anyway. Since I'm going to paint with a yellow and orange color scheme, I start with a white surfacer for most of the outer part. And for the non-orange or yellow color, or simply put the inner frame and such, I just paint it with a gray surfacer. Then again, I want to do some pre-shading. This time I use the light gray from before because orange and yellow kinda interesting on how transparent they are. So I want to make the shading very subtle. That's why I'm going with the super light gray here. Next, I start blasting the orange color for half of the top of the torso with the color jump with orange red. I don't need to worry about the inner frame and such. I don't do any masking this time around because I can just re-prime them all later. I also try not to spray too much around the stomach area since that's where the gradient will be. Next, for the yellow color, I use the RX-78 yellow and white with 1:1 ratio, giving it a nice pastel yellow color. Then slowly spray it to the stomach area to get that nice gradient effect. After that, I went back with the orange back and forth just to balance until the gradation looks really nice. Then I paint the rest of the arm with the same red-orange and most of the leg parts with the same yellow. I also did the same gradient thingy here on the edge of the leg like so. Then for the third color, which is the light blue, I used the RX78 blue mixed with white to get that nice pastel blue color. Next for the gray on the outer parts, which I already reprimed it with gray, I first pre-shade it with black on all of the edges like so. Then I decided to use the same purplish gray from my last project, which is the VF31J from Macross Delta. I think it fits perfectly with the summer color scheme we've done so far. Not too dark, also not too bright. For the inner frame, I just simply used black gray for it. And lastly, for the hand, face, and neck area, I went with the color black. And finally, I used enamel gray for this area inside the stomach part here because my energy is depleted for another round of masking. And after it dried, with the swap stick, I just erased the excess with the enamel thinner like so. Now it looks like this, pretty clean. After that, I added a top coat to protect the progress so far. And then I had to assemble it first to see how the color goes. And what is this? I mean, it's not bad, but I don't know, it was way much cooler in my head. Like, I feel like there's something wrong with it. The gradient on the torso looks beautiful though, which I really like. I mean, just look at that. But I feel like the head should be in orange too instead of yellow. It's so weird right now, I can't stand it. Okay, so I just changed the head into the same orange from the torso with a little bit of red for the like cap thingy on the forehead, I don't know. And it looks so much more makes sense, right? I think this is way better than before. Now all the painting is done, it still looks empty so far, so let's start some detailing. First up, I used the aqueous dark gray for all these tiny details like these tiny squares and such. There's so much of this across the model kit, which is nice. Then I used green for this kind of sensor on top of the head and the same green for the eye. I then used some Tamiya panel line accent color for some of the panel lines, like here on the torso for instance. Then I add a little bit of silver for this area here, some kind of fan in the shoulder, and also for the falcon on the head. And now the Arbalest looks like this, which is way better than before just by adding up some details. It looks more, crowded than before. I don't know what the perfect word is, but yeah. Next, I add some decals here and there, then I finish it off with a nice flat top coat for our second checkpoint. Lastly, for the finisher, I add some weathering filter with the Mr. Hobby weathering color multi black. At first, I was a little bit unsure whether I add this weathering for the Arbalest or not, since the plan is I want to make the Arbalest as bright as possible compared to the booster. But yeah, I did it anyway because that makes the most sense to me. And that's pretty much for the build. Everything is done and now it's time we put it all together. First up, we have the main torso and the head, and oh my god, look at that. I don't know, actually I have a mixed feeling about how this turned out. Like I said before, it was way much cooler on my head, but oh well. But on the flip side, look at that gradation on the stomach area, which is beautiful. Super proud with how it turned out, even though the actual stomach parts is in the gray color. But the main area from torso to the waist area just feels connected, I feel like, which is pretty good. Also, the blue here works really well with the other just as a little accent. But I feel like I picked the wrong decal because as you can see, the decal mostly in black and it's kinda hard to see with the naked eye. But on the yellow parts on the other hand, it just shows up pretty clearly. Next up, we got the arms, looks incredibly nice, the orange especially looks smooth, and the blue accent again really add the touch to it. But again, I put so much decal here and it barely even shows. Oh my god, I feel so stupid choosing this decal color. Should have been white, right? Anyway, let's just attach it to the main body like so, and now it looks something like this. Next for the leg, which is in yellow color with a little bit of gradation on the lower parts. At first, I almost painted the calf area yellow because I want the yellow to be like somewhat, I don't know, dominating the overall leg. But I just follow my gut to paint the calf purplish gray instead, which just looks cool at the end. So let's just attach it back to the body. And this is what the Arbalest looks like now. Again, pretty cool with the gradation of the orange to the yellow. I somehow really love that. But in terms of overall color scheme, it's yeah, I don't know what to say. Somehow a little bit looks like a clown, but not really. I mean, I don't know guys, what do you guys think? Oh yeah, for the weapon I decided to just work on with the shotgun. It's just in dark gray with a brown for the gauge, nothing special. And that is for the Arbalest. Let's put that aside for now and we move on to the XL2 booster. First we grab this main body here, which is looks awesome. I really love the color, weathering, decals and all, and just attach it to the wing like so. Then we attach the exhaust here on the back, and this is what the fuel tank looks like now. I added a nice red stripe decal here, and honestly, it looks really cool, right? And now the XL2 booster looks like this, and oh my god, it looks so cool. It really resembles a fighter jet like the way I want it to be. The colors, like the combination of the gray and the lighter gray, the decals, and especially the weathering streaks on the wing really do their job. It just looks way cooler than the Arbalest itself, I feel like. Now it's time we combine both of them together. I've prepared the stand for displaying it. It's just a wooden coaster for a cup which I've drilled with my dad's hand drill so that the stand from the Action Base 7 could fit it properly. Then I just need to attach the XL2 booster first, then carefully attach the Arbalest onto it. And with that, the build is now complete. So there you have it, the Arbalest complete with its XL2 booster. I'm having a stressful yet some fun with this build, especially when deciding the color scheme, but I think it's worth it because again this piece right here won second place on the Repaint category for Kisho Modeler's Cup, which I still cannot believe it. This is probably my greatest achievement so far. It just makes me wanna build even more cool and fun project in the future. So yeah, a massive thanks to each and every one of you who stuck around until the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed watching my build. Hope it inspires you guys in any way, shape or form. Be sure to give this video a like, drop a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel for more awesome content like this in the future. See you in the next build. Bye!